daoibh agus fulcha, it's Misha Killian, and this is Hallowed Highlands. Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Killian. Today, I wanted to go over mental health and how you can incorporate your witchy or pagan practice into your mental health practice. So I have a lot of different things to show you today. Some of them are going to be witchy, some are going to be more on like the therapy side of things. And let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to go over was some of the gemstones that I like to work with a lot. Selenite is the first one that we're going to go over. Selenite is great for a lot of things, and like all the gemstones that I'm going to show you have many associations, but I'm only going to talk about a few of them, how I use them in my mental health practice. But selenite is really great with transmuting energy. So taking lower vibration energy or muddied negativity and transmuting it, transforming it into something that's more high vibrational and more positive. So I like to use selenite all around my apartment. I have it everywhere. And I also have this little selenite wand. It's like a little pencil. But I sometimes like to write out, things like my anxiety does not control me, things like that. And I visualize as I'm writing it that it has already taken place, that I'm already free of my anxiety or whatever I'm looking to do. Another thing you can do is, and you can work with any type of wand. I have a couple different wands here. This one's my willow root wand. It's so pretty. And this one is from Ireland. This one came from a yew tree in Cork, Ireland, and it has a piece of carnelian on it and also a piece of rose quartz. But you can use your wands even over your head. If you're feeling really bogged down with depression or anxiety, you can use your wand to gather up that energy and release it. Gather up that energy and release it. If you want, you can touch it to the ground afterward. But I like to use it on my third eye, on my crown, and then I pretty much just scan my whole face, my whole head. And like I said, you can use other wands for that too. It doesn't have to be selenite. All right, so the next stone I'm going to show you is blue obsidian. A lot of people don't know that obsidian comes in other colors. But this blue obsidian I specifically use for pain management. This one, for whatever reason, works really well with my my back pain. So what I'll do is I'll lay on my stomach and I will place it over the disc that I had tore several years back, and I still have a lot of pain in that area. As the memory cells remember what happened, and as unfortunately my back is not completely healed, I still have issues with it. So blue obsidian can be really helpful with pain. It can be really helpful with other things as well, but I like to use it on my back. And I bring that up because dealing with chronic pain is something that is heavily tied to my personal mental health. I deal with chronic pain, and it is very difficult to deal with. So I like to incorporate things that help me manage my pain. So now I also have, where's my other piece of it? Here we go. I have two pieces. Well, I have more than two pieces. These are two of my favorite pieces of amethyst that I have. My dog. Totally forgot to exit out of Discord, so you can hear Discord in the background. So amethyst is great for a lot of things, like the other gemstones, but I personally use it mainly for the psychic, boosting psychic abilities, protecting me while I'm astrally traveling, because I astral travel a lot. But also because it is a gemstone that is very powerful for fighting addiction. And I have been very honest about this in past videos, and I'll be honest with again. I struggle with drug addiction, and I've actually been clean and sober for a little over 6 months now, so I'm really proud of myself there. And I'm going to divert really quickly over to one of my mental health resources since I'm mentioning addiction. Um, don't be afraid to pull in things that are not witchy to work on your mental health. And this is the Narcotics Anonymous Step Working Guide. I like to use this to help me work the steps. And then, like I said, the amethyst is very supportive when it comes to dealing with addictions. So now I'm going to show you my rose quartz. I have many different pieces of it, but this is one of my favorites. It's so big. So rose quartz is really good for self-love and compassion, and that's, primarily how I use it for my mental health. I struggle a lot with self-loathing and with feeling like I just can't trust myself and feeling like I'm less than everyone else and that I'm not all these wonderful things that I really am. But rose quartz is really great at helping you see those things in yourself and really give yourself love and compassion. The next gemstone I want to go over is fluorite. I totally forgot to bring my fluorite sphere in here, but I have 3 different pieces. I'm first gonna, let me see. Let me use one hand at a time. This is a really beautiful piece of rainbow fluorite. I really wish you could see the colors even better. I feel like it's not showing you its full beauty. So I also have a more rough piece of rainbow fluorite. Trying to see if I can. There we go. And then this is my other piece of fluorite. Unfortunately, it broke. It was a wand, but it fell and it broke. But it's still beautiful and it still does its job. So fluorite is great for, again, a lot of things. But one of the things that I like to use fluorite for in my practice is fluorite's great at helping you determine what, out of everything that you're feeling, what is yours and what is coming from other people. So that way you can let go of whatever is from other people. You don't need to hold on to that. It's not your mess. So yeah, it's really great for that. And it's one of the reasons why I suggest that empaths pick up fluorite. I think every empath should have fluorite. The next one I'm going to go over is labradorite. Labradorite's really great with manifestation. Oh my God, it's got dog hair all over it. It's also a really great gemstone for shadow work and for introspection. So pretty. I love that on that side it's more blue, and then on this side it's more like green and golden. And then I also have this piece of labradorite. It's on a cross it is made of, just carved into a cross. Actually bought this one off Etsy. So I personally use this one when I am doing exorcisms for people. Um, Demons don't like crosses, so I use the cross. Plus, growing up Catholic, I still pull from Catholicism a bit with my own personal practice. So I felt comfortable making a necklace out of a labradorite cross. And like I said, I use this, I wear this when I am doing exorcisms. All right. Desert Rose is another one that I have here. Like, so bad at doing this. There we go. You see the texture, it's really pretty. So desert rose is really good for helping you determine where you want to go, what you want to do, your wants, your needs, and the direction that you want to move in. So this stone really helps me when I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling like I just don't know what direction to go in or what to focus on. Citrine. I wish that I had my other piece to show you because it's even prettier than this piece. But citrine is really great for a lot of different things. Also got carnelian. And then smoky quartz, which actually, this I swear to you looks like clear quartz. It broke. But when I bought it from the company that I purchased from, they said it was smoky quartz. I really think it's clear quartz, but I don't know. But either way, clear quartz and smoky quartz are both great for mental health work. They are both very purifying and cleansing, grounding. They both are really great about sucking in ick and getting it away from you. Let's see, I could have sworn I had. Oh, here we go. Almost lost it. And then this is my spirit quartz. It is so pretty. I wish that the camera was picking it up, but it's actually more purple than it looks in the video right now. This one I use to help me connect with my guides, to help connect me with my deities. It's a very great gemstone for helping you connect with higher realms, angelic realms, things like that. And then I believe this is, oh no, second to last. So then I also have this. This is actually a fossil. It's ammonite. I think I'm pronouncing that right. There we go. These are ancient, and I personally feel that it helps me ground and connect with the earth. I typically have my higher chakras wide open, and then I struggle to keep my lower chakras open. Um, there are a lot of people that I know of that deal with the same thing, but because of that, I like to use a lot of different things that will help me ground. It's also a very wise item to have it. It brings you wisdom of the earth. Last gemstone. These are actually Lake Superior agates. They come from Calumet, Michigan. When I was a younger child, I would often go up to Calumet for family vacations in the summer, and one of the most common things that we would do was to walk up and down the beach and look for agates, and then we would take them home and we would tumble them and then make jewelry. So I love agate. Agate in general is a very healing stone. It's very soothing. It can really help you process emotional trauma and intense emotional states, and it can help even those emotional states out. And actually, okay, so now I'm going to show you one of my pendulums. So pendulums are another tool that you can use witchy-wise when it comes to your mental health. If you feel really lost and you're not sure if you're going in the right direction, or you're not sure if the decision you made was right or this or that, you can ask your pendulum for guidance. So also asking for guidance, you can use things like runes, which I have my bag of runes right here. Oh, that's funny. I pulled the blank one out. I don't even use the blank one because that's like a modern thing. Here we go. So you can use runes as well to seek guidance and to look for clarity. If you read cards, you can use things like oracle cards or If you don't want to read Oracle, but you want to work with cards, you can do tarot. So this is my little holder for it. And then these are what the cards look like. This is my Deviant Moon deck. I really love this deck. One of these days I'm going to do a flip through of it so you can see all of them. So yeah, don't be afraid to pull from different divination techniques to help you kind of look for answers if you don't have them, and also to kind of guide you. Um, the next thing I wanted to show you is journaling. Journaling is very important when it comes to mental health. It really gives you a place to just get all of that crap out. And I personally like to do things like angry write. So if something makes me angry, before I even think about going and handling that situation, I will write about it and I will just write out everything I feel, very visceral, very oftentimes just filled with cuss words and all that. And then when I'm done, I will either burn it and focus on the ashes as it's burning and focus on that being, I'm burning this away. I'm burning my anger away. I've let it out now and now it's gone. Um, so that's one method. Or you can just crumble it up and throw it away or tear it up into different pieces and throw it away. But I have one journal here. This one's a book of shadows, but it's also a journal. Journal. I write a lot about my feelings in here and my dreams. It's a really pretty book. I love this one. And then another journal I wanted to show you. It's called the Moonology Diary 2022, and it's by Yasmin Boland. I actually discovered this awesome book from Dina over at Magic Unleashed. She did a video on it, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, I need that." So this is another little journal that I like to use, or I'm gonna start using because it's for next year. So yeah, there are different types of journals out there. So experiment. You can find ones that have prompts in them. You can find ones that have like motivational little quotes and stuff like that in it. Like this one taps into the moon, and then if you want, you can even get things like a sketchbook that don't even have lines in it, and you can make that your journal, and that way you can draw and write in it. Let's see. The next thing I want to go into, like I talked about how I am coping with addiction. I also have mental illness, so that means that I have a dual diagnosis. So a friend of mine bought me the Dual Disorders Recovery book. This is a really helpful book for me. One of my diagnoses is complex PTSD, so I bought myself the complex PTSD workbook. This workbook is amazing and it has been really helping me. If you want to pick it up, it's by Ariel Schwartz, PhD. And all of these resources that I'm talking about in this video, I will make sure that I put them in the description. So if you're interested in buying them, you should be able to find them. Another workbook that I have is the Self-Compassion Skills Workbook. This one's really great for self-love and compassion. I don't know about you, but I really struggle with that. So when I saw this in the bookstore, I was like, yep, I need that one. And this one's by Tim Desmond. Another thing that I've briefly talked about in another video, my emergency box video where I showed you my little box of coping tools, is that I use CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and I also use DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy. And this is the DBT Skills Training Handouts and Worksheets book by Marsha Linehan. And I highly suggest you picking this up. It is a wonderful book for helping you learn how to cope with your emotions, how to sit with your emotions, how to process them, how to better communicate with other people, especially when your emotions are high. There are just so many great techniques in here that I have found helpful throughout my life, and I think you will too. The last thing I think out of everything that I want to show you is another book. I personally also have dissociative identity disorder, or DID, and this is a very well loved book. But this is a book on DID, and it's written by a therapist and named Deborah Bray Haddock. This is a really great book if you have DID, or if you know someone who has DID, you love someone who has DID. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. So yeah, other things that you can do to help with your mental health that are witchy or pagan, you can do Reiki on yourself if you know Reiki. You can do the different self treatments. One of my favorite positions is this one. I use this one all the time. You can also put Reiki into your food and into your drinks. And you can pray, you can meditate, seek guidance from your deities. Another thing that you can do is dance. Um, it can be hard for a lot of us. We don't want people to see us dancing, especially if you're like me and you don't really dance well. But one thing that I have found very healing with my mental health and spiritual, and also taps into my spiritual health, is spontaneous qigong, and that's where you just spontaneously start to do qigong. And I have been doing this for years now, and I'll just randomly just feel the need to start moving, and I just start doing these different positions and different movements, and it helps me get my energy moving. It breaks up stagnancy or blockages, and just really helps me center myself. Let's see. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was coping skills. I don't think that it is taught enough in our culture, American culture, but we really need to get better about learning how to cope with things. And I'm going to link this in the description, but there's a really great resource. It's called 99 Coping Skills, and it literally has a list of 99 different coping skills that you can pick from that will help you deal with whatever you're feeling or whatever you're going through. Another resource that I wanted to talk about is I can't remember who it's by, but I will put the details in the description. But it's a document called Untwisting Your Thoughts, and it's a great way to escape cognitive traps. A lot of us get stuck up in here, and our thoughts start to get so chaotic and so fast, and they just start turning over on each other until you feel like your brain is in a bind. So this document that I'm going to link is really helpful in escaping those cognitive traps and clearing your thoughts. The last thing I wanted to mention was if you are in crisis, you can always text 741-741, and that is the crisis text line. They don't do calls, but it's all text, and you'll be connected with a crisis counselor. I actually volunteer over there as a crisis counselor, and all of us are very empathic. A lot of us are very empathetic and caring, and a lot of us get it. And we're here for you. The crisis text line is open 24/7. It never closes. It's free and it's confidential. The only time that we ever break confidentiality is if a person is at imminent risk of killing themselves or someone else, and in that case we have to get them help. But other than that, you're good. It's just you and the crisis counselor. So please don't be afraid to reach out for support if you find yourself in crisis. Please don't just wallow in it. And you deserve to be heard. You deserve to be able to speak with someone who can help you sort out how you're feeling and move past that hot moment. I didn't mention it before, but I do want to mention it real quick. If you struggle with self-harm, there is a great app that we suggest to people on the crisis line, and it's called Calm Harm. And it's a really great app that helps you when you're dealing with urges to harm yourself. So I hope that you guys found these things helpful. I know I was like kind of all over the place in this video. I didn't have a script. I apologize. But I really wanted to do a video on mental health because it is just so important that we are aware of our feelings and aware of our mental state, and that we do something about it, and we don't just sit there and, like I said, wallow in it, or isolate. I know I'm very guilty of isolating when I'm struggling. So yeah, I hope you find this helpful. I'll link everything I possibly can in the description, and I hope you guys take care. If you want to shop my services and products, head on over to hallowedhighlands.com. And if you'd like to become a student over at my Patreon, I teach and I also do psychic readings. I offer discounts for my website there and all sorts of different goodies. I have two different tiers, a $5 tier and a $10 tier. You can cancel anytime. So if you're, golden for a few months and then all of a sudden you have a rough month, you can just cancel and then come back when it's good for you. So take care, everybody. It was great to see you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.